Good evening. I just wanted to answer a few questions I had about what's going on in the real estate market right now in the Temecula Valley. And there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of fear, and I just want to give you some real statistics about what's really happening right now. I think there's just been a lot of fear that the market was going to crash immediately. And, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I did, but I do know what the numbers say about what's happening right now. And for those of you who have questions about listing your home right now, or the possibilities of what the value would be in this market, I just want to share with you some real numbers. So let's get straight to it. I'm going to share the screen. I want to apologize first for the quality of the video. I recognize that this is not the greatest platform, but it's an easy screen share. So I just want to run through this with you really quick. This is a chart showing the Temecula Valley home statistics. That's Temecula and Murrieta areas for January 2017 through April of 2020. And we're going to look first at days to sell. And we call that days on the market. And if you sold a home before, you're probably familiar with that term because it's something we're sensitive to. Luxury home market and tract home markets are very different, and the days on the market are very different for those. So we're talking about tract homes here. Luxury homes tend to stay on the market for quite a bit longer and don't have the same stigma if they stay on the market too long. But days on the market, they extend very long. It starts looking like there's something wrong with the home or it's really overpriced, and that's usually the case. So days on the market typically cycle throughout the year, and new listings that go on the market in January stay on the market quite a bit longer. New listings that go on the market in December are going to stay on the market for quite a bit longer than they would if they were listed in the spring or the summer. So days on the market is usually highest December and January, and then bottoms out midsummer, June, July. And if you look at this chart, you'll see that cycle each year. It goes high in December and January and drops down midsummer, June, July. So we see that each year, and we did go high this year, not as high as we have been the last few years or last couple of years, I guess. But when you look at this drop in days on the market, considering what's going on right now, this was a little bit unexpected. So as slow as things have gotten, and the market has really changed in some ways. Some of the things that we thought, or that a lot of my clients thought would change, have not. And maybe have changed for the better. So this top line is list prices. Keep in mind, this isn't sales prices, it's list prices. So list prices are gradually climbing. We see a little bit of up and down, but it's fairly steadily going gradually up. And this year from January, it did go up a little bit. So we'll look at a closer snapshot. This is from January through April of this year. List prices here, and days on the market in blue. List prices, we got a little bit of a bump up in March, but other than that, it's staying fairly steady. These are dropping pretty dramatically, days on the market. So what does that mean? What we've seen in new listings come on the market is also very unusual for April, and not unusual for the quarantine that we're in, because people need to not have people coming through their homes. We're still going to have people who have to move. We have a substantial military community in this area, and they're still working and moving as they need to. And so we're still seeing vacant homes that are up for sale. We're still seeing occupied homes that are up for sale, and the way we sell those is definitely different. But the cycle of new listings also cycles throughout the year, and we always see the lowest number, or typically we'll see the lowest number of new listings in December, unless there's a really dramatic event that would change that. And then as we go into the spring, it climbs and climbs and climbs. So normally we would see March get higher and April would be off the chart, but we're lower than we were in December for new listings coming on the market. And what that does is it impacts the inventory that's available. So not only do we have a lot of people who had their homes listed who have now put them on hold and don't want to show them, we also have a lot of people who might have listed their home this spring that just didn't put it on the market. So we have very little inventory available, And what that's done is we're actually seeing an increase in home prices. And what that should tell you, sorry about the phone going off, what that should tell you about what's going on is that there's still a demand. And I think that's something that a lot of my clients, people who aren't in the real estate business, are under the impression that no one is buying houses and that you couldn't sell a house right now and that they're not going to be able to get their value out of their house. And the truth is, there are still buyers buying, and there are a lot of buyers who are looking and can't find what they want because the inventory is so low. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this screen, but just know that with the low inventory that we have available, prices are holding, they're doing well, and there are still people looking for homes. So right now I'm working with, I do have a closing. We're gonna fund and record tomorrow. I'm super happy for the sellers and the buyers. But for the most part, I'm working with buyers right now who are looking and can't find what they're looking for. So and I'm definitely not trying to encourage you to just put your house on the market during this time if it's not necessary. But for those of you who are needing to sell, I just want to give you a little bit of reassurance that prices are doing well and that buyers are still looking, and it's still a doable thing. We definitely have to change our procedures, and when we show homes, it's typically we show vacant homes. If homes are occupied, we don't show them until there's been an offer negotiated. So you've got a client, I mean, there's no more looky-loos driving around, and that's the nice thing for us as realtors. There's just no more tire kickers, no more looky-loos. If we have a buyer who's interested in a home, they're going to watch a virtual tour, they're going to go do a drive-by and check out the area, they're going to make a decision and make an offer on that home, and you'll be able to negotiate price, and that'll just be subject to inspection. And it simplifies things for everyone when it comes to that process, and eliminates a lot of the time-consuming things that we do with people that aren't ready to buy. So that's another good thing too. And then the one thing I wanted to point out is that days on the market right now is not as critical a factor as it would normally be. We talk a lot about that in real estate. It's a big issue, and you know how that works. If your house is on the market for 6 months, people know that it's either overpriced or there are issues with the house, and that's not. And I want to make it really clear, I'm not talking about luxury homes, because that's a completely different market. They have a much longer days on the market period, and it's definitely looked at in a different way because they're looking for specific buyers with very specific criteria. So when we're talking about tract homes, I think what's going to happen in the next few months is, 4 or 5 months from now, when people look at a house that's been on the market for 4 or 5 or 6 months, they're going to know that it was listed during that COVID-19 period and was not being shown. And so I think if you have a fear and you need to sell and you have a fear of listing right now based on that, number one, be assured that days on the market has dropped dramatically. Houses are selling really quickly. I have buyers who have been looking at homes online and making offers and getting outbid. I mean, there are people who are receiving multiple offers on their homes, and there are homes that are selling above list price. So that's really good news for sellers who do need to sell. And if you have questions about the market or any other aspect of real estate, I'd be happy to talk to you anytime and just share the experience that I have. My number is 951-375-6373, and I'm Kayla Nebeker with Realty One Group Southwest.